Okay, here we are, boys and girls. How is everybody doing this last week of the year? This should be a very exciting show. I've been preparing for this for about a week. Actually, 2 weeks. I'm sorry it took me a lot longer to get ready than usual, but I tell you what, folks, we got more people involved in this than I've ever had in a pool before. This is going to take some time. Please be patient with me as I run down all of the things I'm going to do. These bonus chips right here. If you draw a bonus chip right before you draw your name, well, then you get 2 coins, not 1. And then there are the $10 certificate chips. I got 3 of those this time. And I've got another one, a brand new one. These game chips right here. If I pull a game chip and then I pull your name, you get to get a coin and then you guess higher or lower in date and mint mark, with date being in year order and then mint mark being in PDS order, higher or lower what the next coin is. As long as you're correct, we keep drawing and you keep getting coins. That's how that's going to work. There's 3 of them in this game. And so that will happen 3 times. Hello, Rhonda Tolliver. And here are all of the bonus chips into the bin with everybody. Let's see. Go ahead and draw the first name out. First name is going to be Mr. Fletcher, Jim Fletcher. And I draw the first coin available in the box. And it's going to be a 1949D. 1949D, nice uncirculated coin for Jim. These go all the way back to 1934. There are some 1934s involved in this. Let me get my lighting after I draw another chip here. Who is this one going to be? Rithy Earth. Let me get my lighting situated here. For some reason, it's not changing anything. Hang on a second. Let me bring this a little bit further down. That'll give us a little bit more light. There, we can see, I guess. All right. Rithy will pick up. Oh, man, 1937S. 1937S. Lincoln cent. That's a good $15 item right there. Man, that's a good way to get started. Right? Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams comes up next. Mr. Adams will get, how about a 1947 Philadelphia, 1947P. Let's see, who else? Parviz gets there's 1957. So pretty much anything in this bag is going to, or in these boxes, is going to be considered a winner. I would prefer probably to get the S mints and the early coins than I would the later coins and the P mints and D mints, but that's pretty much how it works out. There is, I started this whole thing with 2,000 coins. With 2,000 coins, I started with $10,000 in value. Dennis is next, 1952D. 1952D. So yeah, $10,000 in wheats in this pull. Not this particular one. I have 2,000 coins readied. I've got about 400 this time. JM, 1952D. These coins are thoroughly mixed, so what happens when I get 2 of the same one, that's just the luck of the draw. That's just the way it is. Here's a 1940 for Mr. French, 1940 Philadelphia. And if we get through this and you have paid for spots and don't notice your name, I am sorry. I tried the best I could. Kenny Krause. Kenny Krause starts off with a 1957 Philadelphia. Let's see. Kimberly D. Kimberly is next. Kimberly gets a 1946D. 1946D. How you liking it so far? Carl? Carl gets a 1952D. Nice 1952D there. Next up, Kelly Michaud. Kelly Michaud, 1949D. Let's see, what do we got next? Cap Morgan. Cap Morgan dollar. 1951, Philadelphia. 1951. Yes, I would, Carl. Cookie up with her first draw here. Gets a 1945D. 1945D. Let's see, what do we got next? Deanne. Deanne, next up, 1958 Philadelphia. 1958P. And then next in, Miss Kelly Ray. Well, Kelly Ray, let's see what you've got. How about a 1942 Philadelphia, 1942P? For the better part, these have not ever been checked for double dies or anything like that. These coins are all just in partial rolls that I had here and there and all around, and I just pulled them out, put them in order, and started putting them in flips. Here's a 1944, it's a 44S for Rithy. And there are some steelies in here too. Parvis up next, 1946D. 1946D. Bonus, that means somebody gets 2 coins. Who is somebody? How about Dennis Paulson? Dennis is going to get 2 coins. Draw one after the other. I get a 1951 Philadelphia and a 1949 Denver. 1949D. That's for Dennis. Next up, somebody gets to play the game. Now, here's how the game works. If you are present, we're going to do it now. Otherwise, I'll figure something out. If you are present, is Ant here? Ant is here. Ant gets to play the game. Ant's first coin is a 1948D. Now, Ant is the next coin higher or lower than 1948D? This will take a little bit of time because of lag. I'm sure it will. But we only got this 3 times. We get to enjoy it. Everybody can encourage Ant. Is it a higher coin or a lower coin than 1948D? Now, 48 Philadelphia would be lower. 48 San Francisco would be higher. So Ant says lower. Lower than 1948D. And it's not. Got a 1951 Philadelphia. But he does get that coin too. So there you go. You get 2 coins out of it. We could have gone on for a good 30 minutes on that. South End Owl. South End Owl. How about a 1947 Philadelphia? That would have worked. 47 Philadelphia would have worked. That would have been lower. See how that works? All right. Jimmy Bridges. How about 1940 Denver? 1940 Denver. These coins are all uncirculated. Some of them might have a few little spots or a little brown spot or toning here and there. But they are all uncirculated coins. Here is Stanley Zokowski gets a 1947D. Some of them are really nice, bright gems. Here's Ted Evans. Ted Evans comes up next. Card Sharks. That's kind of where that came from. Ted Evans, 1955, Philadelphia, 1955P. I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to date myself. You know, I didn't want to make it like, what is he talking about? Oh, is he old or something? I guess we're all old together. Oh, I got to show you something. Let's see. That's going to be the wrong one. Here, let me add. I got to do this, folks. My wife got me a present, and I really like the present, so I have to show it to you. And we're going to go with this camera, I believe. Is this it? No, that's not it. Is it this one? No. It's got to be this one. Are we serious? It isn't working. Huh. Well, how do I get my camera working properly here? Let's see. Maybe. Oh, there it is. Hi there. Here we are. Check this out. My wife bought this shirt for me. Let me swing this out of the way so you can see it. I might start talking about coins at any time. You won't understand. You probably won't understand. I can't believe she got that for me. That's a beautiful gift. I love it. All right. Let's see if I can get back to where I was. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Turn my droid cam back on. There we go. Make sure I got everybody working properly again here. All right, here we go. Next up, it's going to be Dennis again. Dennis Paulson. Dennis gets... Oh, come on, please. My coins is falling. 1954S for Dennis. 1954S. Oh, it could be dangerous for me. That's for sure. But you know what? I like the risk, and I like the ability to juice up the audience and possibly get somebody a good little pile of coins. Here's a bonus chip. Bonus chip will go to Mr. Magany, Ronald. So Ronald's going to get 2 coins. First, a 1952 Philadelphia. 1952 Philadelphia. And then the next coin is a 1949S. 1949S, 1952 Philadelphia. So he gets 2 of them. Next up, Taco John. Taco John with a 1946D. 1946D for Taco John. Sureg. Sureg's first coin here. 1952 Philadelphia. 1952 Philadelphia. Most of these coins in the condition that they're in are worth between $3.50 and $5 a piece. I added everything up according to the Numis Media price guide. And all of the coins in the pool pile add up to over $10,000. 1950D for Kelly Michaud. That's a pretty coin. 1950D for Kelly Michaud. Josie Fletcher. Young Miss Fletcher. What does young Miss Fletcher get? How about a 1953D? Real pretty looking 1953D Lincoln. Let's see who comes up next. Stone Cutter. Stone Cutter. When he catches you, you're through. 1951S. I don't know where I came up with that. It's the old Wile E. Coyote. Stone Cutter. When he catches you, you're through. Rithy Yorth. 1947. Philadelphia, 1947. South End Owl. Now, a lot of these, like this one, 1949S here, are a little better than $100 rolls. if you're going to get an entire roll. Break a roll apart, you're busting that $100 bill. Hello, Roy. Ted Evans. Ted Evans gets a 1953 Philadelphia. 1953 P. Nice BU coin there. Next up, Kimberly. Kimberly D. Oh, Kimberly D gets a 1943 D. 1943 D. Beautiful steel scent for Miss Kimberly. There's one for Parviz now. Parviz. 1954 Denver. 54 Denver for Parviz. Stone Cutter. 1941 D. Ooh, that one's got a few little spots on it. Hang on, just let me check on something real quick. Hang on. I am back. Thank you for your patience. Next up to pull is, well, there's Stonecutter again. These chips are very highly mixed. So if I get two the same one, that's just by luck. 1951D. Nice 1951D there for Stonecutter. After that 41D that wasn't so pretty. Let's see, Crispy. Crispy pulls next to 1952D. 1952D. Let's see, what can I do to create a little bit more space for myself here? There we go. Get these pulled over to the next column. I'm going to be running out of space before too long. I'm going to have to get another box out. Ronald. Mr. Magany gets a 1949D. Most of the time, the rolls in the 40s are going to run you $100 or better. Here's Wanda. Wanda gets a 1953S. 1953S. Who's up next? Brian Rogel. I don't know why my printer printed this off, but we'll get it taken care of. I just was in a hurry to get it done. 1950S for Brian. Well, I could not believe how much time this took to put together. Hours and hours and hours. 1946 Philadelphia for J.J. Addict. 1946 Philadelphia. Next up, Sir Egg. And Sir Egg gets 1950 Denver. I'm pulling the hair out of there. There we go. Don't need any hairs. No DNA evidence left behind. Thank you very much. Fingerprints are enough. Dennis. $1952D. Yeah, I have put 2,000. Actually, no, it's less than 2,000, a little bit less than 2,000 coins. I've put in flips. All of the ones that you see here that are in flips, not in the stapled 2x2s, I just put in these holders. JJ Addict again. How about a 1941S? It's a small S, slightly more common type. It has a little bit of a Larry on it, but it is a nice uncirculated 1941S. Yeah, off-center chip. There you go. Brian Rogel again. People are making fun of your chips, brother. 1951D. They're a little listed toward the left there. We'll get that taken care of. I think I'm printing at like 95% or something. Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder's first coin is a 1955 S. 1955 S. I try with my fast fingers. I do the best I can with it. South End Owl. 1939 Philadelphia. 1939 Philadelphia for South End Owl. Hello, Mauricio. Next up. Next, we have Kelly. Michaud. 1952 D. Next up. Back to Penny Hoarder again. Penny Hoarder gets 1954 D. 1954 D for Penny Hoarder. Next up, Mr. Lungi, Raymond Lungi, 1948 D. 1948 D. Jimmy Bridges. Jimmy, how about a 51S? 1951 S. How we liking it? Everybody having fun? How do you get your name on the chip? Pay for spots and I create them. I make these chips. I make the graphics and print the stickers. Put the stickers on the chips. Ant gets a 1951S. Roy, you've got one in here with your name on it. JJ again. JJ Addict. Gets a 56D. 1956D. All of the coins in here are wheat cents. All of the coins in here are uncirculated. They go all the way back to 1934. 1940D. 1940D for Mark. Let's see, what's next? Malcolm? How about Malcolm? What does Malcolm get? How about a 1939? 1939 Philadelphia for Malcolm. Ant. Ant pops up again. And Ant pops up with a 1948S. 1948S. And here next, Deanne. 1946 Philadelphia. Now that's one. Those are expensive. Those are tough to get. 1946 Philadelphia. In better grade, those things are really difficult. Deanne. 1951D. Bright, shiny 1951D. Next up, JJ. JJ Addict gets a 1958. 1958, last year of the wheat cent. Wheat cent, wheat penny, whatever you want to call them. South End Owl. South End Owl 1947D. 1947D, that one is yours, sir. Rithy Yorth. What does Rithy get? 1953, Philadelphia. That one is for you, Rithy. Next up, oh, and they definitely could have varieties. These are rolls that have been sitting for a long time unchecked. 1948S. I just got the rolls out. Made the flips for the coins. Put the flips together. Put the coins in the flips, folded them up, and stuck them in the box. I didn't look at them any further. 1954D for Paul. 54D. Watch that one especially for a north and south RPM for a few double dies that'll show up on the bottom of the 4 of the date and maybe a doubled eyelid or two. How about Klaus, 1948D? 1948D for Klaus. Here's Ronald. Ronald now, 1957D. 57D. Oh, Taco John. Here's one for Wanda. What does Wanda get? How about a 1949P? That's not a cheap roll. Those run. Let me see. Hey, look up my value on those and see what they run. If I have that sheet up. I don't presently have that sheet up, but that's okay. I can make it come up if you give me just a moment. There we go. What was that? A 49 Philadelphia? 49 Philadelphia value on that's going to be about $6. So there's nearly a double your money. Oh, will you look at that? There's a $10 chip. Who gets a $10 chip? Well, first of all, let's draw a name. Parvis. Parvis gets $10 and a 1943 Denver. Got a little bit of that white stuff on it, but it is a bright uncirculated coin. Parvis, $10. Let me write that down. Let's see. This is the wheat cent pool. And it is $12.29. Parvis gets a $10 certificate. Here is Malcolm now. Malcolm. Well, another 1946 Philadelphia for Malcolm. 46 Philly, that's a $4.50 coin. JM. JM up next. 1949D. 1949D, bright red uncirculated coin there. Josie Fletcher. Mauricio Brotto. If you want to register with us, it's pretty simple. Somebody type out the email address for me. It's coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Just send me an email message and let me know what your PayPal email address is, and you're registered just like that. And then if you want to get involved in the next pull, you just let me know. Here's one for Josie. This is a 1944S for Josie Fletcher. JJ Addict. JJ Addict is next with a 1942D. Nice toner. Any hairs you find or other material that comes extra with your coin is absolutely free, no charge. Compliments of coppercoins.com. What's up, Ted? Here's another one for JM. How about that? JM in a 1951S. 1951S. Let's see. Back to Parvis. Back to Parvis again, and this is a 1952D. 1952D for Parvis. Who do we have next? Back to Rithy. 1953S. Next up, well, there's JM again. 1939 Philadelphia. 1939 Philadelphia. It's about a $6-7 coin right there. I tell you, folks, these are good stuff. Sissy. There's a 49D for Sissy. Got a potential of getting 15, 20 coins out of this if you end up on the game and you guess correctly a few times. So there's a possibility you could end up way on top. Here's another one for Ant. 1953. 1953, Philadelphia. That's it. Coppercoinspayments at gmail.com. All one word, coppercoinspayments at gmail.com. Anybody listening can register if you're not already registered with me. If you've ever registered with me before and your information remains the same as it did when you did register, you're still registered. You only have to do it once. How about that? A toner, 1951S for Kimberly. Sherman by the well, no. No, there's like people hair and Sherman hair all over this house. No matter how much you clean, it's still there. It's yeah, it's kind of like leaves in your yard. You never totally get them cleaned up. And a Ronald gets a 1943D. Another 1943D. Deanne? How about Deanne? Ooh, nice 41S. 1941S. I have to make some more room. Hang on just a second. If anybody has boxes they're donating to the cause, I am willing to accept whatever you have. I can always use more boxes. Actually, let me do it this way, because this is my next box. I'm going to load this side. No, I'll load this side. Boys and girls, do not try this at home. We are what you call professionals. There's that. And now I get that settled in, and I can bring another stack over. You mix together the stapled 2x2s and the folded 2x2s, and they are not easy to work with. They don't. Okay. Here we go. That ought to give us enough room to play with for a little while. Just a little while. Alright, let me get a couple more stuffers in here. Make those out of packing material. Cut them just above 2x2, and they'll stuff your rows, and they keep your stuff from sliding around too much. Got your 43S MS64 with CAC today. Nice. Jimmy Bridges. Jimmy's up next. Jimmy gets a 1955 Philadelphia. That's a nice coin. 1955 Philadelphia for Jimmy. Who is up next? Up next comes... Hey, there's Roy. There's your one coin, Roy. Let's see if we can get you something good. How about a pretty nice looking 1951S? 1951S for Roy. Cookie. Cookie. I just had to make you labels and they printed off center. We're going to redo those in the interim. How about a 1955S for you? 1955S, a nice gem coin. That's for Cookie. Next up, Parviz. Mr. Parviz, how about a 1950D? 1950D. Nice. Next up, Klaus Blem. 1956 Philadelphia. Make sure you're checking the reverse on those 56 Philadelphias for a really strong Class 6 double die. Has a bunch of stretching toward the rim. Hey, here's Cookie again. Cookie again. Comes up with the 1951D this time. 1951D. Next up, well, Stonecutter. Stonecutter gets a 19... Oh, drop it. 1955. Philadelphia, 1955, Philly. Print errors and not mint errors. That's right. That's the chips with the most are the ones that are printed off center, right? Stanley Zokowski gets a 1951S. 1951S. It's like how I drugged that out. Just for the radio voice, S. Mr. Rogel. 1954, Philadelphia. 1954, Philly. Those in high grade are some big money coins. Oh, we're going to play the game again. Who is going to play the game? Is Rithy in here? Rithy Yorth? I'll put this aside, and perhaps Rithy and I can play this game together on chat sometime. Let's see. Klaus up next. Rithy, if you're here, let me know, please. 1952D. Hello, Grouse. 1952D. Rithy is here. Okay. So, Rithy, we're going to play the game. The game goes like this. I pull out a coin. And by date and mint mark, you tell me whether the next coin in the box is higher or lower. As long as you guess correctly, you keep getting coins until you get one wrong. When you get one wrong, you get that coin, but that's it. All right. Rithy, your first one, 1946S. Is the next coin higher or lower than 1946S? And Rithy's guess. This is where everybody else can go get their coffee. Go refill your coffee. While Rithy and I have a game session going on here. 1946S, Rithy, I'm looking for higher or lower. Than a 46S. Just like Card Sharks, Taco John, that's exactly how it works. Oh, Rithy. My good man, Rithy. Higher or lower than 1946S? Wanda says lower. What about Rithy? What are you going to say, sir? Oh, where are we? Let's see. I see 1, 2, 3. I see 3 that say higher. I see 1 that says lower. Rithy says higher. Is Rithy correct? Is it higher or is it not higher? Oh, next coin in the box is a 42D. It is lower. So, even though that one has a little bit of a Larry on it, you get those two. Rithy gets those two for playing the game. I clear up a little bit more space here. Rithy said higher, and it was lower. Unfortunately. Let's see. If it's a tie, it's an automatic stop. So if I draw a 52D and you say lower and I grab another 52D, it just stops. The game stops right there. There's no win on a tie. I highly doubt they're going to be ties because these coins were very well mixed. Next up, Mr. French. 1949 Philadelphia. 1949 Philly. That's right, Wanda. Still a winner. Everybody's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, here we go. What's next? Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder, 1952D. I guess you can call the same if you want to call the same. But that's almost strategic suicide, I would say. Raymond, given that your chances of getting the same thing is extremely small, Raymond gets a 1944S. 1944S, nice uncirculated coin there. Pretty brilliant uncirculated. Yeah, two of them turned up to be short. Let's see if we can make it a little bit longer next time, perhaps, maybe. Ted Evans gets a 1949S. 49S. For Ted. Jordan. This is Parva's grandson. Jordan gets a 1943D. 1943D uncirculated steel cent. Next up, Wanda. Wanda 1946D. A 1946D. Let's see what we have up next. Paul Hampton. A 1941D. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change the rules of the game. If you say higher or lower and it's the same, it's a free pass. You get that coin, you get to do it again. That works for me. Doug, that way there's no losers without your consent by calling the wrong thing. That's a 1950S for Doug. Mr. Cross. 1953S. $1953S for Mr. Cross. Now Sureg. Sureg with a 1952D. 52D for Sureg. Next up, Ted Evans. Ted Evans gets a 1949D. 49D with some toning. That's for Ted. By the way, another thing that we are going to be doing after the beginning of the year is a toner pull. It's going to be much like this, only it's going to be the few rolls of toners that I have collected over time. You'll be able to win toners just like we're doing now for BU coins. 52D for Kelly Ray. Mr. Fletcher. Jim Fletcher, 1950D. 1950D. We're going to have the pinkies. We're going to have the purples. We're going to have all different kinds of colors. The rainbows, the sunsets, the tequila sunrises. All different kinds. The purples, the blues. Ronald, 1940S. 1940S. Those will also be running $3.50 a coin. Richard, Mr. Sappington, 1947D. 1947D. Next up, Rebecca. This is Malcolm's friend down in Florida. How about a 1954D? 1954D for Rebecca. So be paying attention for when I announce that is going to be coming up, because I believe a toner pull will be quite interesting to a number of people. Let me go on to live chat. If you have said something and I didn't respond, it's because you didn't show up in my top chat. I now have live chat on and am watching it. Captain Morgan Dollar, 1950, Philadelphia, 1950 Philly. I had a set one time, about 5 years ago, that I was working on. And I had all the coins in nice BU from 1934 to 1958, except for 1950 Philadelphia. I was like pulling teeth finding that coin. 1941 Denver for Malcolm. 41 Denver. These things get super expensive, I tell you what. 41 Denver is a $5.50 coin. This one for Kimberly. About a 1946 S. That's a $250 roll right there. $5 coin. Absolutely, Stonecutter. 50 Philly is sweet. They're not easy to get. This one for Malcolm. 1952 Denver. 52D. Little spotty. Up next, Mr. Doug. Mr. Doug gets a 1949S. 1949S. Way back for Rithy's name. 1948, Philadelphia. $51P is your struggle. They're not easy. Those are expensive rolls. People don't realize it till they get out and try buying them. And they're also very difficult to find. Klaus Blem, 1953S. Yes, Carl. That is correct. Let me see whose name I have on that list. I had the list sitting here earlier. Well, if I only knew, if I only knew where I put the list. I saw it up here on the desk earlier. It might have stuck to the bottom of the box or something. Oops, keyboard. Ouch. Say ouch, keyboard. Oh, here it is. The names I have on my list: Penny Hoarder, Ronald, Raymond, Paul, Wanda, Carl, and Parvis are signed up for all future pulls until they give me notice to not sign them up. Anybody else who wants to be in a perpetual sign up for the pools can do so. All you gotta do is just tell me. I'll be doing pulls about once every 2 to 3 weeks. Taco John says to sign him up. All right, Ronald comes up next. Ronald comes up next with a 1952D. 1952D. Okay, I need another sticky note. Hang on just a second. Let me get another sticky note so I can sign everybody up who's telling me now. Let's see. Up now would be Taco John. Kelly Ray. Cat Morgan Dollar. Ted Evans. And this is for all the pulls. Taco John, even if I die, keep me in. Okay. Grouse, it's going to be different per pull. Some of the pulls are $2, some are $2.50, some are $3.50. Depends on what I'm doing. These are $3.50 because there's some $15, $20 coins in here. And then the proof pulls for Lincoln Cents are $2.50. The Jefferson Nickels are $2.50. And the toner pull will be $3.50. And that's about all the different kinds of pulls that I'll be doing. I may do another one of the early singles pulls where you can get 1911S, 12S, stuff like that. But I will contact you prior to that one because that one will be a $5 pull. All right, Rithy says, sign me up. Mr. Sappington. Stone Cutter. Okay. Okay. I got a good little set of people started there. Oh, Stanley says, sign me up. Now, Roy, did you want in for 10? These are a max of 10 spots. Roy, did you want in for 10 spots on each pull? That's what this is when you sign up, ad perpetuum, it's always going to be 10 spots. Okay. Sorry, we're full channel. Okay, I think I've got everybody. If I didn't mention your name, please let me know. Okay. Let's keep moving along. Oh, hey, look at that. Take a little break, and what do you get? You get a $10 chip. And that $10 chip will go to, well, what do you know, Josie Fletcher. She has the luck. I tell you what, 1947D with that $10 chip. So Josie gets $10 plus a 1947D. Let's see, where did I write that? Here we go. Got one more $10 chip in there. We'll see where we go from here. Klaus. Had a 1955S for Klaus. I did make sure that I kind of kept the chatter of the higher dates to kind of a minimum. I mean, how many 58Ds have you seen so far, huh? Here's another one for Jordan. How about a 1940 Philadelphia for Jordan? 1940 Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the 57 and 58 coins down to a dull roar. I don't want to draw too many of those. 53D for Penny Hoarder. 53D. Next up, Mr. Rizak. Ooh, nice one. How about a really pretty 1939 Philadelphia? 1939 Philly, bright red. Deanne. Deanne with a 1952D. 52D for Deanne. Mr. Bridges. There's another 52D. With the Ministry of the Treasury. You want to be on the list? I'll get South End Al on the list. Tell the Ministry of the Treasury thank you for me. All right, let's see. Paul. Mr. Hampton. 51D. 51D for Mr. Hampton. Mr. Fletcher. Doesn't have anywhere near the luck his granddaughter does, I can tell you that for sure. 1950S. Oh, that one's got a Larry on it. Yuck. Oh, well. They come out like they come out. Crispy. 1946S for Crispy. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pull another coin out of my backup box over here. I'm not looking. And it's a 50S. What do you know? Okay, Jim gets two 50S's, the one with the Larry and one without. Well, and here's Jim again. So what does Jim get this time? How about a 48D? 1948D for Jim Fletcher. Next up, JM. JM gets a 1940 Philadelphia, 1940 Philly. Next up, Carl. 46 Philly, 1946. Now Taco John. Taco John gets the last one on this row, and it's a 1940. 1940 Philadelphia. Nice bright red coin. Those generally run about $5. That's per coin, boys and girls. Per coin. Another one for Ronald. Let's see what he gets. A 1955S to get that start of the box started off. Nice gem coin there, though. Beautiful gem. Let's see. Who's next? Richard? Mr. Sappington gets a 1946D. 1946D. And let's see. Crispy. Crispy with a 1951D. Richard, again. 1953S. Wow. That's a stunner. Man, that's a nice coin. Look at the reverse on that. Dude, that's a 66. That's a nice coin. All right, Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray pulls 1948S. 1948S, nice, brilliant, uncirculated coin. Raymond Longy. Raymond with a 1952D. Blinded again, you're right. Should have warned people to bring their shades with them. 1944S. That's for Stanley. 44S. Let's see what we have here. Next up, Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder with a 1953S. Nice full red gem. Bonus. Whoever I draw gets 2 coins, not 1. That's going to be Carl. Carl with a bonus, 2 coins, gets 1955 Philadelphia and 1951S. 55 Philly and a 51S. Congrats to Mr. Carl. Next up, Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams, I got your message. I appreciate it. I just have not had a chance to respond yet. I'll get those together and get them shipped out in your package. 1947D. 1947D for Mr. Adams. Been kind of waiting to get this done so I could throw it in the packages with everything else. Rebecca. Rebecca up next. 1949 Philly. 1949 Philly. Who is up next? Well, we got Richard again. How about that? Richard up with a 1940 Philadelphia. 1940 Philly. Next up, Ted. Looks like Ted's in need of a label replacement. Here's a 1949D. Really nice looking 49D here. I pulled out all the stops, people. I just had too many rolls, too many partial rolls. So I just started breaking them down. I figured this was probably the best way to get them into new homes. Ant 1954D, a little bit of a toner. Got a little bit of surface issue. All right, who comes up next? Well, we've got Miss Sissy. A 51D for Miss Sissy, 1951D. Here we come up next. All right, we got 29 people watching, only 18 likes. If you like this show, help support the channel. Give me a like. Doesn't cost you anything, and it certainly helps people find this channel. Paul? Paul with a 1953 Philadelphia. 1953 Philly for Paul. Hello, Chasing Change. Just a few days, right? Let's see each other in Orlando. Rebecca. Rebecca up next. Don't forget that, folks. Next Thursday and Friday, I will be at the Fun Show in Orlando, Florida. A 53S. 53S for Rebecca. As if you guys can actually get a flight to get there. I'm driving. I don't do airplanes. Not because I don't like the airplanes, it's because I don't like the airlines. 1949S for Mr. Fletcher. 49S for Jim. I am done with ticketing and security and extra money for baggage and extra money. I can't believe I got on a plane one time. They want to charge me $5 for peanuts. Are you serious? 1942 Philadelphia. That's when I started carrying my own snacks onto the plane. And they say you're not supposed to. Catch me if you can. Ronald. Ronald gets 1948 Philadelphia. A little bit of a Woody going on there. Now, 1948 Philadelphia. Oh man, my bag still feels full. Who's up next? Well, Jordan again. Jordan this time will get a 1958D. It's a beautiful 1958D. I mean, how many 58Ds have you seen in this so far? And this one is gorgeous. Nice, beautiful, bright coin. Up next, Mr. Rogel again. Brian? 1941S. 41S. Do I miss the ones that have flown the coop? TWA, Pan Am, Braniff, PSA, Eastern, Northwest, or so they were so enduringly called Northwest Orient at one point in time. No, I don't miss any of them. I don't miss them, and I don't like the ones that we have now. I mean, the whole thing is I never was loyal to a particular brand. I just wanted somebody to get me there, you know. Here's Crispy, 1947. 47 for Crispy. I was in the military for long enough, and I flew enough in the military that I was kind of just a daily driver type flyer. And when I go to the airports and get on an airplane, a commercial airliner, it was always like a zoo, trying to get on the plane, get off the plane, get your bags, get everything done, go through security and all that, bo. And I just hated it. Sissy? 1940, Philadelphia. 1940 Philadelphia for Sissy. I would do the train. I don't have a problem with trains. Brian, 1952D. Yeah, I'm good with getting on trains. I think they're a little slow. Jimmy? But man, what a way to be able to watch what's going on around you without having to worry about driving. Jimmy with a 49S. Nice striped toner there. That's for Jimmy. Marked Money Tech. Marked Money Tech got you a 1951S. A little piece of plastic on the coin. Or is that? Wait a minute. Where is my trusty loop? Hang on a second. I'm going to get my loop out. Well, we're going to have to scratch that idea. I have two loops in this room and can't find either one of them. Let's get in really close and see what's going on with this coin. Yeah, that's a struck through. That's a really nice. It's got a piece of metal or something that was struck into the coin, then it fell out. And so this is what's left of it. It's a nice looking error. Real pretty error coin. That's for Marked Money Tech. Beautiful. I gotta move up a little bit more so I can read the entire name on these. There we go. All right, that's a 51S. That's a pretty 51S error coin for Marked Money Tech. Mr. Paulson, Dennis up next. 1946S. 1946S for Dennis. Next we have Mark. So it shows you how closely I look at these coins before I put them in here. They just go in, you know. 48D. 48D for Mark. Taco John, you haven't seen any for you? Oh yeah, I've pulled at least 2 or 3 for you. Yes, you are in this one, Taco John. Ronald, 1949D. A 49D. Carl, 1953D. Nice one at that. Cab Morgan. How about 1946S? Cap Morgan dollar. I have a confession. Marked Money Tech doesn't know she's in this pull. I put her in as a gift from Copper Coins because she's going through some very tough times right now. So let's all just have her in our hearts and in our minds. I'm glad she got that pretty coin. It'll help take her mind off of some of the problems she's going through right now. I just stuck her in here because I wanted to. 1946, Philadelphia, and a nice one for Sandigger. I do that once in a while. Just try to do something for the people who support me. Like, putting $20 coins in the pools. 1952D. 1952D for Crispy. Rebecca. Up next, Rebecca. How about 1947D? 1947D. So Mark Moneytech won't know this until she comes back and watches at some point later. Klaus Blem. Mr. Klaus, 1957D. Pretty nice looking one. 1957D. Cookie. Cookie's up next. Cookie with a 1956D. 1956D. Sissy? Sissy gets a 1948. 1948 Philadelphia. I just like to share my love of the numismatic world with everyone. Even those who are having a hard time with life. Makes me smile to make you smile. Stonecutter. 1958D. It's a nice one, though. But it's a 58D. Here you go, wake up. Taco John. Taco John, 1951S. And a nice one, too. Penny Hoarder. But a 52D. Oh, Wanda. Wanda. 1940D. And look at that, it's a toner. Wanda likes her toners. Let's see what the reverse looks like. It's got a little bit of color. So Wanda gets that. 1940 Denver. Get some of these coins moved over to the other box so I've got more room in here. Alright, there we go. Now we have some separation. Clear separation. Put a space between it. Jordan. Up next, Jordan. 1952D for Jordan. You got every one of them, Malcolm. Everybody is jealous of you. Because you got all the goodies. Here's Paul. Paul Hampton, 1951, Philadelphia. 51, Philly. Josie Fletcher. She seems to have all the luck. Oh my gosh. The luck. 1937S. Nice 1937S. That's an $11, $12 coin right there. That's for Josie Fletcher. What's up next? Taco John again. Where are we? 1951S for Taco John. 51S. Next up, Richard. 1940. 1940 Philadelphia for Richard. Eric is going to the show, Kelly Ray. We're all going to have dinner together. If you want. Mark? But no, you don't have to try sushi this time. Mark, 1944D. 1944D. Next up, Sissy. She's probably asleep right now. So be quiet. 1942 Philadelphia. It's got interesting toning on it. V for Victory. All right, next up, Deanne. 1950 Denver. 1950 Denver. JJ. JJ Addict. How about a 1949 Philadelphia? 1949 P. Wanda, you going to the show? Jimmy. Jimmy again comes up with the 1953D, and this one is a bright stellar coin. Wow, very shiny. Next up, Kimberly. Next coin's a 49D for Kimberly. Stanley. Stanley with a 56D. Next up, Mark. About a 46S. 1946S for Mark. Let's see, Wanda. Yeah, Wanda. I wonder what Wanda gets. 1946D. 46D for Wanda. And I got one coin left in this box. So the one coin I've got left in the box goes to South End Al, and it is a 1952D. For South End Al, 1952D. I got enough space to put a couple more coins in here from the other box, so let me get rid of this one. Move this one over here. Bring this one in here. I've got 6 more of these. We got lots of coins. All right, next up, Captain Morgan Dollar. Captain Morgan Dollar gets, how about a 1953S for Captain Morgan Dollar? Next up, well, there's Captain Morgan Dollar again. We're just going to keep dragging you out until we get something, right? 1951D. 51D for Captain Morgan Dollar. Kelly Ray, we've got a condo. So we've got a condo about a mile away from where the show is. That way we can Uber back and forth everywhere. Because, well, I like the word Uber. And, well, Eric and Brian like to drink. Somebody's got to drive. Dennis. About a 1954 plane. 54 plane for Dennis. I did get your text earlier. I just haven't had a chance yet to respond. Taco John here. Taco John. Ooh, Taco John gets a 1943D. A little bit of a Larry on it, but it is a 43D. Jim? How about a 41D? Is that a 41D? Yeah, 41D. It's got a spot on it, but it's a 41D. Come on. Mr. Adams? How about 1940S? 1940S. Oh, that's a pretty one. Deanne? Oh, there's a 51D for Deanne. Next up, Crispy. Also a 51D. Klaus. A 1950D. For Klaus. Yeah, I probably plan on Ubering back and forth the show and everything each day. Because, well, what's the point in driving a mile? There's a 55S for South End Al. Well, there's South End Al again. South End Al this time 1950S. 1950S. JJ. JJ Addict 1948S. Pretty. Nice, pretty coin. 1948S. Up next, Sand Digger. Sand Digger gets a 1958D. Gosh, I feel like my bag is still full. Taco John again. Taco John. About a 1954D. 1954D. Ant. How about a 1947D? 47D. Now Sissy. 1952D for Sissy. Kelly Michaud. At a 1952D. Malcolm. 1955, Philadelphia. Nice little Woody there. 1955, Philadelphia. Ted Evans. Another 52D. Maybe it seems like I'm a little heavy on 52D in here. I don't know how that happened. Klaus. Is that 51D? 1951D for Klaus. Kelly Ray Uber is actually going to be cheap. There's Uber everywhere there. You spending one night or two? Rebecca now. Rebecca with a 1954 plane. 1954. Mr. French. 1940. 1940, Philadelphia. JM. 52D. Cookie. Cookie back up. How about a 1940? 1940 Philadelphia. For Cookie. 1940 is a pretty valuable roll. $5 coins. Doug next. 1949D. Okay, I can do that, Kelly Ray. Later may not work tonight. I'm getting kind of tired and we're about halfway done. 1950S. 1950S for Kelly Michaud. Sureg. 1951D. 51D for Sureg. I will call you tomorrow there, Kelly Ray. Crispy. Crispy, 1954. 1954 for Crispy. Sureg back up again. Surreg gets a 1939. Nice 1939, uncirculated. Got 2 nights at the Rosen. Okay. Hey, look at that. Somebody's going to come out with $10. Who is somebody? Marked Money Tech. How about that? Marked Money Tech got $10. And a 1946D. Really pretty 1946D. Let me get that written down here real quick. Okay. Next up, Raymond Longy. Raymond, 1948S for Raymond. Dude, we still got a bag full. I might have to break this into 2 shows. Kelly Ray now, 1947D. That big Larry on it. That's not my fingerprint. I didn't do it. Kenny Cross. This would be, I think, his 3rd coin, 52D. Marked Money Tech. Back again. Now 1953S. South End Owl. 1953D. Back to Jordan. 1952D. Mr. Adams. 1946, Philadelphia. Mr. Adams. How many chips left in the bag? At least 75. Thinking about breaking this off and coming back tomorrow. Are there any objections to breaking this off and coming back tomorrow? Because we still have a rather large contingent of chips remaining. Hey, there's one for Sandigger. No objections. 1948D for Sandigger. Yeah, see, I'll show you. We still got a lot of chips in the bag. I'll redraw for him, Parvis. I think what I'm going to do is it's 9:30 Eastern time. What I think I'll do is I'll come back tomorrow at 7, and we can finish this off. It'll take us about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I don't want to be here until 11 o'clock tonight. This is a much larger show. We have, I think, about 390 coins to pull. 390. And I think I've pulled about 175 of them. Maybe 200. So I've probably got about 150, 175 chips at least remaining. I mean, this right here is 20. Okay. And that's only a handful out of the bag. So yeah, let's do that. Understood, Kelly Ray. I'll try to help you as much as I can. Yeah, we'll get back in on this. Be 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'll bring it back out. I'll just schedule a part 2 show. And we'll come back at 7 tomorrow. I was a little late on it today because, man, I had no idea how much work this was going to be. This has been a week of horrors. All right, so we'll be back at 7 tomorrow. We'll finish this show up tomorrow, probably in about an hour. I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great night, and I'll come back and we'll finish this up tomorrow. Have a great night. I'll talk to you later.